To understand the change management approval process, please review the help pages that are available from either the RFC Administration section or on the Request for Change, Create, or Edit pages. The Status Change Process Flow page shows the workflow through the RFC lifecycle from the various RFC states to the decisions and actions made by the Change Manager, Change Advisory Board, or CAB, and others. Then, the Notification Process Flow page shows RFC actions that trigger email notifications to people working on the RFC. At the bottom of the page is a written description of the flowcharts above. When new RFCs are submitted, the Change Manager is typically the first person to review them. If an RFC is a simple, routine, and low-risk RFC, then the Change Manager can approve the request immediately by changing the status to Approved or to Scheduled and clicking Save. For a moment now, let's talk a little more broadly about how the approval process works in Giva. Pending actions represent work that has to be completed before the RFC can be approved. Pending actions are configured in the Administration section, and you should make sure to include all possible pending actions that might be necessary for any of your RFCs, such as test, implementation, and backout plans. There could be other pending actions, such as more work needed, planning required, vendor update required, etc., or whatever makes sense for your organization. This pending action list helps you clearly and consistently document the work that has to be done during an RFC lifecycle. When the Change Manager reviews an RFC for the first time, they should check all the appropriate pending actions that have to be completed before the RFC is ready for approval. After each pending action is completed, it can then be unchecked, indicating the work has been done. The last pending action that remains checked when the RFC is ready for approval is Awaiting Approval. All checking and unchecking of pending actions is fully tracked in the history of the RFC for good compliance. In this section of the RFC, there is a clear audit trail and permanent record of all the work completed in the RFC. For example, an RFC that is not ready for approval yet, such as one with a status of planning, might be waiting for a test plan and a backout plan to be included in the RFC. In this instance then, the Pending Actions section would have Test Plan and Backout Plan checked. Once the Change Manager is satisfied that everything required for proceeding with the RFC has been included in the RFC, and there are no remaining pending actions to complete, then the status should be changed to Pending, and the Awaiting Approval Pending action should be checked. Giva automatically emails the CAB and Emergency Committee, if marked urgent, to review the RFC. Your change management process should also include that CAB members discuss and advise the Change Manager at each CAB meeting. To approve RFCs, Change Managers and Emergency Committee members are already authorized to do this, but any person registered in the system can also be designated as an approver in their profile. An approver role is a special right. Then, while editing an RFC, approvers check the My Approval checkbox to document their approval. In this example, according to the business rules configured, 3 approvers are required for an RFC to be approved. Dave Smith, Jim King, and Sue Jackson all gave their approval on the same day. The team approval date is the date that the last person approves the RFC. Finally, in this example, Jim King gave his approval. However, Charles Becker is a change manager, and change managers, along with emergency committee members, can unilaterally approve an RFC at any time, regardless of whether or not pending actions have been completed. Here, Charles Becker has overridden the normal approval workflow process, which required 3 approvals, and the RFC is immediately approved by him and designated as such.